said you wanted to add to the show for tonight, and he said this show is special to you tonight. So go ahead, Earthquake.
Yeah, I'm a lot more relaxed now. It's my third time calling in. It's relieves the tension
Mm-hmm.
once you get used to this and stuff. But when Doctor Mysterio called in, his message was so powerful too.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I mean, I've talked to you in person about this, but just to catch everybody up, I'm not religious. I never was or brought up that way. But
Well, God bless
late,
you.
lately though, I've been really looking into it. I've explored lots of different religion point of views. I don't know which ones to agree with or disagree with, but and then I hear, about how Lenny and you were talking, how we have to, forgive our the way we treat certain people, and it's made me think a lot about my dad and how I don't have a whole lot of respect for him, the things that he's done for me in my life, but the calls in today, they made me realize that, even under these circumstances of the way things are, and if shit does hit the fan, or I'm ever cut off from him, he's still my dad. I'm gonna love him forever, no matter what. And I think I might give him a call tomorrow, just to see how he's doing. I don't know if I feel comfortable with apologizing to anything that he's ever done to me, but just to know that he's there, and I just want to tell him, that I love him.
Um, for a lot of people that don't know, Earthquake knows me personally, and not this last time we spoke, but another time before when we spoke, uh, you told me about this, um,
Yeah,
and I told
yeah.
you. What did I tell
He's
you?
not the greatest role model. He's not the greatest role model,
Mm-hmm.
but I always tell everybody that too, with the way that he treated me is how I'll never treat my kids, and I try my very best to be the best father figure, even though I don't even know what it's like to be brought up by one. But yeah, I'm gonna do my very damn best to be different. But I do feel what everyone's saying, and how you gotta, even that helps me. That's why I'm tying things together here, if it makes any sense to everybody. But with the religion thing, with what Mysterio said, and with the show, it's just, yeah, it's overwhelming. I watch every episode now. I try catching up every time I can. I support D Live big time, you know that. And yeah, I'm feel really blessed, is what you guys would call it. I feel blessed about being part of this show. I'm glad I just said yes to you that one day, and checked it out, and I'll never look back. These people are amazing.
It's
They're
kind of important. Now, remember, I told you about the approach, right? I said to approach it as if you're not right and he's not right and you're not wrong and you're not wrong. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to
that's right.
approach this as like with love, and it's all about love.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
know we can't prove this, that maybe certain things that he may have done to you wouldn't have made you into the man you are today. And then
yeah.
may not, you see where I'm going with this, right?
No, totally. I agree. Yeah, like,
So,
even with I always say my mom is my guardian angel too, and she's the one who saved me from a life I could have lived with him. And yeah, that's where it's as much as I never was awake and open to see the spiritual side of it, but yeah, it's there's lots of cases, many people like myself, that if they just open up their eyes and see it in a different perspective, point of view, it's yeah, it's life changing. Like I said, this episode is deep, man. I was thinking, we'd hear a lot of good headlines and stuff, but this is now, I can relate to this. I felt a lot from everybody tonight.
mhm.
Yeah, it's powerful, very very powerful.
Every message I've given to everybody in person, like mostly we've been fighting this frontal assault against. Let's reunite the families. Let's start bonding at the street level. Let's find out who lives on your block. Let's stop dividing at the household. Let's be with one another. For years now, and that's been our
Yeah,
number one. That's been my number one mission, was to reunite man as any way humanly possible. And everyone I've ever met that has come through to see me for the show or talk to me or whatever, the number one thing that happens is usually people tell me things. And my answer is to reunite, take it back, forgive, right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
person I meet is to, you're not right, you're not wrong. They are not right and they are not wrong. Everything happens for a specific reason. And in the end, stop carrying the baggage that you don't need to carry. Because all that's happening is someone else is taking poison and you're the one that's dying from it. Because it's polluting your mind and you're carrying this unwanted baggage around everywhere you go your whole life. And it gets tiring.
It does.
And if reuniting with family and being back with people and telling them that, look, I wasn't right, I wasn't wrong, I just want you to know that I love you, and if you ever need me for anything, I'm here for you. And that's it. And then they start opening up, and then things start to change.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. And then they could, I can't remember which caller it came from too, but we were talking about how things were back in the day. I remember when I was younger, my whole family was together, and now you couldn't blink an eye to not see any of them want to kill each other right now. It's so divided in such a scary way. And then even my mom, going like what I called the first time, told her about what she had with the shots and how I met you and all these people that were telling me the truth and trying to, I tried telling her, and she gets to the spiritual point of it, and she starts thinking I'm a whack job, and she tells me to stop, and if anything ever happens, I know you got my backhand until then to stop. And I know I got some people like my mom and my grandma, which I lost this year too, and she went down a hole there with pharmaceutical medicine right before she died. That was, oh my God. They gave her, like I said on the comments, they gave her pills, counteract pills, and she just went from, the most caring person in the world to just hating breathing air on this earth. And before she got like that, she had told me that she lived the life. She raised kids, fostered kids, raised me half the time while my mom worked 3 jobs. She was an amazing person. And then at the end there, she was so sick. So I just look at her and everything pissed her off. You blinked at her the wrong way. You tried to help her bring groceries in. She was choked about it. She wanted, it was super duper hard for me. And then when she was laying there, and I try to, I don't know, try to talk to somebody that's not there anymore. They're sitting there, barely hanging on. And my whole family wanted, they talked to her like as if they were, being superheroes for being there, talking to her on her deathbed. And I couldn't look at her the same. I couldn't do it. And I killed myself for it. But deep down, I know that she told me before she got sick on all these meds and turned in brain damage and turned into this evil, hateful person. She was, she told me what she had done and how proud she was of all of us and her accomplishments in life. And that's when I knew that I wasn't losing her right there that night in bed. Like her body was there, but her spirit died a long time ago when she had told me that. And I knew that I don't have to hate myself for not saying goodbye like everybody else and kissing and talking to a lifeless body in a bed. It's been an eye opener this year. It's hard. First Christmas without her and everything, and yeah, that's why I say I come on here and I see all this stuff. Like, I've never been religious. I see all this religious stuff, and boy, does it ever hit me. Like, I'm not saying that I'm ever going to go to hell or be a bad person, but I see that there's, it could very well be real. Like, you gotta come from my perspective. You gotta open up and listen to certain people. You can't just. That's what I said before. You can't just believe everything everybody says to you, what you see. Or I was joking to you about what Joe Rogan said and stuff too. But it's when you say stuff that happens. When Mysterio says stuff for Supreme, that stuff happens. You guys have said it in the past. The proof is in the pudding, and
I got a message here from Andrus. From Delta to Wasson. That's not far. Well, it's 4 hours away, 3 hours away from me. But Delta to Wasson, there's an Andrus messaging me here on Skype. that hasn't messaged me in a long time. Say, hey, Mike, I used to call you for trends in the housing market. I visited you at your store when you were still across the street before you moved out across the street. You told me the same thing back in 2018 that I needed to reunite ties with my brother, and I did. I managed to give in. I listened to what you told me. It took a few weeks, though. I called him. I messaged him. I told him I was sorry. I told him I loved him. And we've been on a number one, like, it's been a different feeling around now that I'm not carrying the so-called baggage you were talking about. And great show, Mike. And I don't know if you remember me. I am part Portuguese, and I came in to say hi to you. And thank you for that.
It's beautiful, man. It's just like what I feel with when I talk to you too. One day I'll be coming on a late show telling you the same thing. Remember when I used to be scared to talk to you in my shop X amount of years ago? Hopefully, anyway, if we make it that far. But yeah, it's a powerful show, man. I'm proud to be part of it in the Army of 100. I hope everyone accepts
Army of
me.
100, buddy.
Yeah, you betcha. Yeah, it's a amazing place to be, and it gives you a little bit of hope that there's, like I said, there's people like me out there, and I love it. I love that there's, even if there's only 100 of us, I got somebody I could talk to. Like I said, I come out here in my shop, I light a fire, and I sit out here and I watch a show every Saturday. It gives me purpose. And, being out and about. It's even my work Christmas party tonight, but I'm trying to look forward to not drinking and stuff and being a little more steady headed and stuff lately. So I don't participate in that. I'd rather be here on this show.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot to
By
us
myself,
here.
but I'm not by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last caller too. I know how nervous he feels. I was like that too. I wanted to fill that in for him as well. I think his name was Jim, right?
Yeah, Jim from Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, great call too. I mean, lots of hit home stuff there too. I mean, I don't know if I explained when I had my near death experience, but long story short, it was scary, man. And I was in the middle of nowhere. I fell in a icy lake on my way home from work. I slipped over some rocks and some ice, and it was bad. And then I remember, I remember hypothermia setting in on the side of the highway, waiting for a car to come. And yeah, you have a moment there where the only thing I could really think of that I could relate is that, once again, I'm not religious. I never prayed to God or anything, but I just kept thinking of my children, and I thought about not seeing my daughter get married, not seeing my sons grow and create a family, take care of them like I do, and being that next generation. I want to be something good instead of something evil. I want to see it all unfold in front of me. That's why I follow your show, stay up to date. I'm gonna do it. I'm on the path. And recently I talked to you too. I quit my job. I lost tons of money quitting my job to come to this other job, but I did it so that I'm at home with my family. I got what I need. I got a house.
That's all that matters in the end. It's family. It's all that matters.
Yeah. And it's hit me ever since that accident. It was dreadful for a year and a half going to work. I drove past the crash site every single day to and from work, and I just kept thinking to myself, on just a random easy day like that, out of the 10,000 times I drove over there for, 7 years straight, 8 years straight, it was so surreal to know that everything can just end for me in a blink of an eye. And as much as I always said to myself, I wish I couldn't do this job, I wish there was something to keep me at home, but the last thing I wanted to be was in the hospital, basically facing death over something that I guess what I would say was prayed for, right? Be home, but I didn't want it to not matter. But it made me realize that being home, I just had to give things up, man. I don't need the money. I don't need fancy cars. You know how I am.
I know how you are.
Yeah, I'm a laid back guy, and I just wanna raise a family, and I want to hear them laugh and giggle and see them, and that's what killed me too. Like I said, my oldest, that one day, we were sitting there, and I was telling because my youngest one I know so much about, and I was telling my oldest one about him, like, oh, he did this first, and look how he does that, and then he's like, hey, Dad, how was I when I did that? And fuck it ever break my heart, man. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even remember. I worked so hard. I didn't remember a damn fucking thing about him. And it almost makes me cry right now just thinking about it. It's a powerful thing to be part of something that's growing. I created him. It makes so that's that spiritual thing again. I'm going back to being spiritual again. You know what I mean? It's amazing. I just love talking about it. It's amazing. Yeah, I've definitely changed a lot in the year that I've been not just around your show, but just yeah, lots of things have been going on, and I just want the best for my family. That's where I gotta you just concrete that in my heart. Say, gotta do that.
Okay.
Gotta, I gotta. So I appreciate it. I
Yeah,
thank you
buddy.
and
We're
everybody.
here for each other. That's what it's about. And when one of us fall from the 100-man army, we pick each other up and get us back in line and move forward in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Sorry for rambling on there forever, but like I said, I, yeah, I'm just connected. I'm really connected to
It's good.
everybody
Isn't
here.
it good to be
I
connected, dude?
appreciate, yeah, I appreciate you and everything you do. Everyone else does too. And yeah, I appreciate all of you who are listening that have helped me. And yeah, just, that's all I wanted to say tonight. Since it was such an emotional show, I just thought I'd come in here. I'm a big guy too, and you know
That's why I
that.
call you Earthquake.
That's why he gave me the name Earthquake. But I'm a softie,
Mm.
and I just keep getting softer the older I get. But I love my family, and I love. I guess I could say right on your show first time. I love God, and I love you, and everybody on this show, and what you guys have done for me. I appreciate it.
Well, I love you
So
too,
that's
buddy. And I'm happy that at
that's
least I reached one
so
person, one soul out there I freed, or one soul is now
yeah.
free.
Yeah,
And
yeah. No, it's amazing. Yeah, and yeah. I thank you all. Have a
all right.
great new year, everybody.
I love you, brother. God bless.
Yeah, God bless to everyone. Have a great night.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. All right, there we go. Wow. What a show tonight. Holy smokeroos. Holy smokeroos. What a show tonight, guys. If you guys know that, unfortunately, if you do have a membership with YouTube for the channel, your membership has been canceled. Just so you, we are no longer monetized. We